It's deja vu for Tasmanians after another election.
We were
saying it was Groundhog Day.
It was Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
We thought it was probably going to happen.
A silly election we didn't need to have.
We didn't need to have.
Feels pretty much exactly the same as it did last week. And we'll probably get a pretty similar... Yeah, it's just going to look like exactly the same, nothing really changed, which is disappointing, but yeah.
Little more than a year after they delivered a minority Liberal government, Tasmanians were sent to the polls again when the Premier lost the confidence of the House. And as votes were counted on Saturday, Liberal Premier Jeremy Rockliff once again claimed victory.
I intend to visit the Governor and ask her to recommission my government so we can get on with the job for Tasmania.
But it's not that clear-cut. The Liberals have secured at least 14 seats. Labor has 9 and will probably get to 10. The Greens are on 5 and Independents 4. 3 seats are still in doubt. That means no one has the 18 seats needed for a majority. Those numbers might sound familiar. That's because at a party level at least, they're a carbon copy of the makeup of Tasmanian Parliament as we headed into this election. Turns out when you only have 16 months between polls, voters deliver a fairly similar result. The Premier is waiting until counting finishes to go to the Governor. In the meantime, he needs to shore up support from crossbenchers.
Those conversations have been good at a very high level. Of course, I've congratulated all on their personal support within the community and look forward to further conversations over the course of the next week or two.
Labor kick-started the chain of events that led to this election with its no confidence motion in the Premier.
It's a gamble that doesn't seem to have paid off. Tasmanian Labor's gone backwards on primary votes. They've seen a swing against them of about 3%. It hasn't meant that they've lost seats, but it has delivered them their worst primary vote share ever in state Labor history.
Despite that result, Labor leader Dean Winter has been making his own calls in the hope he might be able to govern.
We've opened a line of discussion with the crossbench and we'll make sure that they understand where we stand, but we're not going to be horse trading on policy.
If they can cobble together a power-sharing arrangement that reaches a majority on the floor of the House, then what they're doing is creating an arrangement that represents the majority of the voters' intentions. And so that is entirely legitimate. But I think that the public would be shocked because the trend of the vote is away from Labor.
Tasmanians have delivered a progressive crossbench, including 2 independents who previously voted no confidence in the Premier. So far, no independents have said who they'd give support to in this parliament. One-time Labor leader, now independent, David O'Byrne, gave Mr Rockliff support in the previous term.
Let's see the dust settle, but I'm more than open to working with both sides of the House to ensure that we actually get Parliament working and we get out of people's lives and stop having constant elections.
At the federal poll in May, independent Peter George gave Minister Julie Collins a run for her money. With an army of grassroots and high-profile supporters, he easily got the votes to be elected to state parliament on the weekend.
Whoever can come up with the best proposition that will be of real benefit to Tasmania, I will work with them. But I don't plan to sign an agreement because, frankly, with those old parties, the agreement is only worth what it is until they tear it up. And the truth is that both of those parties will tear up any agreement as soon as it's no longer convenient to them.
The Liberals don't want to work with the Greens, and Dean Winter has promised not to govern with the Greens.
I've been clear with Tasmanians before this election that I won't be doing any deals with the Greens and I'm not going to change that.
Kate Crowley is an expert on minority government and Green politics. She says Dean Winter will need more than just the support of independents.
Everyone knows that he needs to talk to the Greens. He can't get anywhere without talking to the Greens.
A potential sticking point in negotiations could be plans for a contentious new AFL stadium. While both major parties support the stadium, the Greens don't, nor do 3 of the 4 independents elected so far.
The truth of the matter is the stadium is not necessary. It's unwanted, quite clearly, because I've been elected, and that's one of the policies that I've been elected on, or positions.
While the weekend's result might seem odd to the rest of the country, this sort of election purgatory isn't unusual for Tasmania's electoral system.
The Hare-Clark system delivers seats to parties, roughly in proportion to the share of the vote that they get. Now, it used to be the case that the major parties would get vote share numbers in the 40s, but that's been declining now for some time. We're seeing the same trend in Tasmania that we're seeing nationally, but under the Hare-Clark system, it sort of exaggerates the effect that you get. It sees minority governments become even more likely.
Something the major parties might need to get used to.
I think they really need to start thinking more about schooling themselves into how to build coalitions. And honestly, there's so much experience around the country now in doing coalitions. So there's a lot of lesson learning that can go on there. You can form stable coalitions with partners that you don't see eye to eye on.